All right. Let's see how this works. The way that I normally stream, I can't get in there, so I'm using this webcam streaming. Um, I don't know how the mic is. Hello? I don't know. Let's see. This is a little different. All right. What's up, people? And the last time I tried this, we got all kind of interruptions because I checked my internet; it was moving pretty fast. But anyway, this was brought to you by Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills at hustlerkungfulifeskills.com. Hustlers, aka Hustlers Kung Fu, begin to work on your internet journey. All right, let's get back to the Omni thing. Um, they got a case against him. For them to come and take all his stuff, they got a case. Just like with Roger Stone, who was recently found guilty lying to Congress. They got a case, and they got a strong case. One of the things that I want you guys to do to develop a money mindset is you got to have someone, either you or someone in your circle, who is literally preoccupied with money. You got to have one of those people around. You need to have one of those folks because here's the situation. And I can't show you because I'm not into my regular thing, but over half the country makes less than $33,000 a year. And when I look at that, and then, with my experience with the sugar babies who are, I mean, we're talking about, we got people out here who don't have enough money to buy a bologna sandwich, who don't have enough money for food. They don't have money for food and gas. We got folks out here living like that who are just completely ass out. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy situation. There's so many people don't have a decent financial education that they know how to take care of themselves. What's up, Born Torn? First time found you from BGs and more glad I did. All right, appreciate it. Oldest Harris, learn how to code, man. I don't care what age you are. If you 40, 50, learn how to code. Because one of the things, because this is really the deep part of the money mindset. I call it knowledging up, the knowledge up. To some people call it leveling up, skilling up. When I was broke Dick Danny, when I was living in that boarding house, I did not have the skills that I have today. You got to get yourself some marketable skills. All right, you moved to the Dominican Republic. All right. What's up, Anthony Wright? Cash for houses. I like that. When I was suffering, when I was in economic bondage, I did not have skills. I didn't have the economic skills. I wasn't. I was an empty husk of a man. Part of this conversation, because I was going to do a channel, a whole channel, Men and Money, but I'm just going to make this a playlist on the new personal finance channel. As a man with a family at the time, I didn't fully understand my place in the economic landscape. And currently, we have a lot of MGTOW, red pill men who are they don't understand their place in the system. They don't understand the grand order, the grand scheme of things. Like, if you're a red pill man or a MGTOW man, if I talk about that you're supposed to be head of household, you're supposed to be the leader, you're supposed to provide, protect, and cover, you ain't gonna hear that. So just go ahead and leave. But that's the grand order thing. And for the men who occupy that role, they're wet panties all over the place. And some people would call that being a simp. But once again, as I teach on Disruptive Male, first of all, the being the dominant male is being a leader. And as being a leader, because what I'm gonna do with this playlist is, teach men their role in society and what they should do in order if they want to have a wife or girlfriend and teach them how to do it. But in any event, you need to be a leader. You need to be the one that's leading the way, killing the dragons. And a lot of guys don't want to do that. They want women to kind of meet them halfway. I'm about to tell you something. The finer women are not going to come up and talk to you. They can like you, you can make them wet, and they will hint or they will put themselves in close orbit to you, but they're never going to approach you and go, yo, man, I like you. That may happen in high school. And you got a lot of guys out here who don't really understand their place because developing the money mindset is developing a leadership mindset. But once again, half the country is broke. Half of working America is broke or close to it. This is not this ain't leadership. This not leadership. I mean, dealing with some of these sugar babies, I am stunned at how broke they are because it's been a long time since I've had to borrow some gas money for somebody. It's been a long time since I had to borrow money from one of my friends. It's been a long time since I've dealt with those issues because this is the transformation that I made as a person. When I started to develop the money mindset, because I realized that I needed more skills. BBB wants a man she could take care of. Who is BBB? Let's deal with the facts. A man with a business, we make our own way. Absolutely. Mike, how do you know when your mentor's playing you? A mentor should be someone giving you good advice. I'll feel less from borrowing money from another human being. I mean, that puts you in the position to be the debtor. Oh, big booty Betty. Okay. I got up from the table at work because two coworkers bragging about their women making six figures, but had no plans on increasing their income to matching it. Wow. Wow. That's deep, man. Currently living in Mississippi. They used to just move into another state. Oh, this it depends. Can you do what you need to do in Mississippi? Um, Once again, being um, a dominant man, being a leader with a money mindset, it's a totally different game. It's a totally different game. Um, First of all, with the money mindset, like me, I'll go back to when I was struggling, when I was suffering, when I didn't have any money. I did not have a money problem. I had a skill set problem. So if you're out here and you want to develop a money mindset, in close proximity to the money mindset should be a skill set development program. And here's the good news. With the internet, you can learn anything you want to if you put your mind to it. Like, I wrote my first book. I wasn't a writer. Now, how did I get the skills to write my first book? I wrote ad copy every day. And it's very interesting that once you develop a certain kind of discipline, it bleeds over to other areas. Because, I tried to write a book the first time and it didn't work out because I didn't really have the discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to write a book. And I tried to write a book the second time and I had a little bit more discipline, but I didn't have the determination. And then the last time, I wrote my book, but after years of writing Craigslist ads, and my ads would be sometimes long, sometimes short, but there was some I would do virtually every day. I would write ads, I would improve ads, I would tweak ads. And the exercise of writing ads to make money gave me the discipline to write a book. TMA, those exit those two. They were male Jezebels. They need to be. See, this is one of the things that's happened. That you have many men who've abdicated their position in society because they took their ball and they went home and they're like, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play the game where I gotta be a financially viable male. Bump that, miss me with that. I'm gonna sit here and play my video games. I'm just gonna check out of society. And that's the wrong way to go. I want you guys, because you know, when I got divorced and I was paying that child support, there was a large part of me that fought. There was this battle because part of me is like, you make more money, she gonna get more money. And that, and I fought it. I had to physically fight myself. I had to box it out with myself. I was like, no, we gonna make more money. No, we ain't. No, we ain't. You just pay more child support. And what I did is I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I did not allow myself to become complacent and take this low status because here's something that's very nasty. Typically, men have children in their 20s and their 30s. Guess what years are your peak earning years? Your mid 30s to 40s. This is when people start getting divorced. This is when the child support stuff starts happening. And your peak earning years is the last time to put it in low gear. Because what happens is once you get to a certain income level, if you're in corporate America, you have a job, it just starts dropping. And it never goes back to that peak level. Sakia Gathers told my husband at the time, I'm looking for the leader in my family. Did that scare him off? It didn't. He measured up and we married now. Oh, good Lord. Let me read that again. You told my husband at the time I'm looking for the leader in my family. Didn't did that scare him off? It didn't. He measured up. We married now. Devontae Wilson been on child support since 15. What do you mean? 15 years old? How you have kids at 15? You mean you've been on child support for 15 years? It should only have 3 more, right? Good Lord. But once again, you know, the money mindset would dictate that you would push past that. Because I see a lot of guys who, once you give them the child support check, you cannot monitor what they do with the money. And one of the things I advise you to do is whatever your child support check is, create a side hustle that makes 3 times what you're paying in child support. You be making so much money that it just doesn't bother you, because I'm not going to lie. When I was struggling, when, I was just at Rent-A-Crate and that hit me, I could pay it and I could pay my bills, but I felt it. And then when I went to panel systems to start making some more money, and when I got to business environments, I didn't feel it. My child support was $450 per month for 2 kids. And once I scaled up to 150, that was like, here, take this check. I remember one time, because she used to act all gangster. She used to be like, you got something for me? And I remember when I was making money, I used to clown her. I actually folded the check up into like a little football and thumped it to her. And she said, you got jokes. I'm like, so do you. Because once it was just like a small bill. And I remember, at that point, it was not messing with me. It just wasn't messing with me. Then I got off in the storage auction business, and she tried to take me back for reconsideration, but they could not prove how much money I was making, so my child support stayed the same, even though I was making way more money. I was making the most money I made in my life. And this is one of the things I tell you guys, don't hate the game, don't hate the player, learn the rules so you can win. And the rules is, once you go to child support court, they don't want to let you go. But by creating your own business, creating your own opportunities, your own income streams, you can play all kinds of games with that. So, I would just like start clowning her, because, when I started making money and when I stopped feeling, because at one point I felt oppressed. I felt that I had all these financial burdens on me, and I was just sitting there like, huh. But when I started making money, it was this weight that came off my shoulders. And whenever I was able to pay my child support and, buy the kids clothes, and whenever with me, they had their own wardrobe at my house. I was like, don't even send any clothes. Because I remember one time she sent some dirty laundry because she's like, I'm too busy to wash clothes. I'm like, you lazy. So I just went ahead and bought them their own clothes, kept them at my house. Didn't have to worry about that. Because when you're dealing with a petty mama, the clowning stuff they do. Polly Robinson. My daughter's got the hustler's mindset. Walker Cross, I'm new to your channel. What do you do? I teach people how to make money. That's what I do. If you want to learn how to make money, you're in the right place. One of the things that people develop in the money mindset is many men, and I'm speaking to the men folk, have lost their way. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to do the heavy lifting. You're supposed to kill dragons. You're supposed to make the money. So one of the things that a lot of men who are MGTOW minded or red pill, and every man is not MGTOW, and I would say most men are not MGTOW, and most men are not red pill. And there's a huge audience of men out there who need guidance. Tim A. When my ex-wife made more money than me, she walked around with her chest out. 3 months later, she got fired. You love those little wins. Like, oh, you take that. Brian here, just landed a new marketing client this morning, helping my wife build her business tonight. Watching you, I learned money is drawing the people who are in motion, momentum and everything. Absolutely. Momentum is everything, man. Absolutely. Gar spit, I was driving, so I couldn't comment, but I got a in-law that's 3 times off, either lost his job or quit and let his wife make the money for them and their 4 kids. Thought that was the weakest shit. That is weak. That is weak. Because once again, like, MGTOW, red pill aside, you supposed to make the money. You supposed to be the leader. You supposed to wear the pants in the house. You as the man are supposed to occupy that role. And so many men have abdicated that role for this newfangled thing. BK Pro, I dated a chick where her mom lied to her and said her dad left and married another woman. Turns out her dad was always married and her mom was a side chick. What? Oh man. When it comes to career, should I chase passion or money? You should chase what you determined to do. You should be determined, young man. BK Pro, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because one of the things with a money mindset, your goal is until you get into about 250K a year, your goal is to make more money each year. Now, if you have a job, your job's only going to pay you X amount of money. And your job's not, unless you just do something brilliant or get some mad promotion, there are not going to be big income jumps with most jobs. So what you're going to have to do is do that with your side business. So I'm going to give you some income levels. If you're making between $30,000 and $50,000 a year from your job, you need a side business. If you're making 50 to 75K a year from your job, you need a side business. If you're making 75 to 100K, you need a side business. If you're making 150 and above, you need to deploy some of your job money into investment opportunities. So, you're making 100K, you need a side business. Because what the side business will do, if you run it correctly, is it'll give you deductions to offset some of your job income. So one of the things that you should look at is scaling up, making more money, and personal development. A spineless male is in fact an invertebrate. Record trader turned 5K into 14,000 in Bitcoin today, quarter of my yearly salary. Bitcoin dropping. How'd you do that? Sure, Otis. Yeah, I'm in the Hellcat. That's just a mess. That is a mess because, like, like everybody here, I saw the channel because YouTube was pushing the videos and his channel grew like crazy. but it was a stunt channel. It was, I'm going to buy this flashy new car. I'm going to buy these motorcycles. I'm going to buy a penthouse and a yacht. And one of the reasons that I stopped watching was, how do you make money, bruh? Explain to us how you make money. What kind of business do you have? You know, construction company. Um, I knew that money, that kind of money wasn't coming from construction and the few rentals that he showed. You know, for him to be flowing, he would have need like 100, 150, 200 rentals. Produce justice. The more I listen to people talk about money, the less I curse. Really? Leverage trading. I don't think I mentioned Omni. You could trade Bitcoin without owning it. Okay. BK Pro does. I mean, that's the thing. No one really knows what he does. Only children are enamored by shiny things. A lot of the adults are children. Taylor Wilson, he had over 200 properties, he said. Really? If he had 200 properties, the depreciation of those 200 properties would allow him to make a lot of money and not pay taxes. That's the only way to do it. Don't buy, just trade it. 89 Dr. Funk, I unsubscribed for his channel because he didn't go into the business to earn the money. I mean, he would never actually touch on that. He talk around it all day long. You know, like I have 2 online platforms. I teach people how to be dominant men. I teach people how to make money. I teach people how to set up their LLCs. That's what I do. People buy the courses, I make money. It's like boom, boom, boom. You could not get that kind of explanation out of him. This is what I do to make money. And I am not surprised. You know, a lot of criminals are getting caught because they're going to Facebook and Instagram and stun. These 2 bank robbers were posing with the money they stole and the guns they used, and some people identified them as the robbers, and that's how they got busted. The stunt life. We know what he does. He got charged with copyright infringement for streaming. Overseas investment opportunities to Southeast Asia, China for the average American. If you're investing overseas, you're not the average American. Omni said live streaming was an app developer for the Cody. He said the reason why his Fed seized his property was because the CPA screwed him. All right, let's have this conversation. If you go out and hire a reputable CPA firm, they're going to sit down. They're going to tell you what tax law is. They're going to tell you what you can and can't do, and they're going to advise you. These people who get these CPAs and attorneys who are just like gangsters in suits, you know, if you get a reputable CPA, this ain't going to happen. Your CPA ain't going to screw you. Your CPA is going to file your taxes because, see, the CPA has to sign off on the taxes. They're not going to jeopardize their CPA license by doing something stupid. So, you know, did he have a real CPA or he had Sammy up the block CPA? You know, my cousin Sammy. CPA was off fiber. Money Mike from the block. I mean, once again, like if you go, you know, you go to a reputable CPA firm, they're not going to screw you. They're not going to take your money. And unless you sign power of attorney for them to access certain checking accounts, you know, the way it is with my CPA, they can't spend my money. They're not authorized. They can't, you know, they go through the QuickBooks and they can look at the accounts, but they can't really get in the accounts. So I would call BS on my CPA if you had a legitimate CPA, not Tony from around the way. Okay. So, essentially, if you have a good CPA, they're going to make sure you don't get into this kind of trouble. A good CPA is going to make sure you don't get in this trouble. They will tell you what's acceptable, and there might be some stuff you can claim, and they'll tell you if it's borderline that this may trigger an audit and you have to sign off on it and like go ahead and file it this way. And long as it's legit, they'll do it. They're just not going. I'm like, I really want to know what CPA firm was he using? Kai Green, most folks I'm seeing on YouTube balling out of control or fronting big time. Tim A, how do you go about selecting a good CPA? This is where having the network comes in. If you have a network of business owners, you can like, hey, who you use for a CPA? Because, business owners who've been in business for many years, who've never had tax trouble, they usually have a really good CPA. Hollywood Prep, no, he doesn't lease them. That was one episode when I was still watching him where he was pulling out the titles. He pays cash for him and he gets the title. He could have gotten away with it if he paid tax. That plus the stun was too much for the feds. I mean, you got a YouTube channel because I think it's more than taxes. But you got a YouTube channel with almost 500,000 subscribers. That the government does watch these YouTube channels. So, I mean, seriously, that could have been the reason they came after him. When you flash so hard, you'll be hot. I mean, all right. I mean, the channel was growing like crazy. It's not even a year old, and it's got 500,000 subscribers. So, but typically, what happens is someone rats you out. Everyone, do you know that if you report someone to the Internal Revenue Service and they collect money, I think you can get 10% as a reward? Let me see. How much money do you get when you rat someone out to the IRS? If the taxes, penalty, and interest and amount dispute exceed $2 million, and if your other qualifications are met, the IRS will pay 15 to 30% of the amount collected to the whistleblower informant award. Let me read that again. If the taxes, penalty, and interest and other amounts in dispute exceed $2 million, and a few other qualifications are met, the IRS will pay 15 to 30% of the amount collected. That right there, I mean, he made himself a target for that right there. Right there, right there, right there. You can get 15 to 30% of the money collect. Taylor Wilson, someone got their 10%. You get a percentage to be a rat. Yeah. And then, I've known that for years. Timmy, I would change my name and move. His CPA rat him out. I don't think so. Of course, he got ratted out, but they had to get evidence. 2-year investigation for streaming copyrighted sport events. Hollywood Prep, no. He was spending a lot of cash. He should have went van life. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Dar's son. Black people equal rats, white people equal whistleblower. They're rats to me too, man. They are rats to me too. So, this whole thing with money, you got to have a good sense of proportion. Because, once again, let's talk about this. Let's say your name is Carl. You 22 years old, just graduated college, you just got a job making $80,000. You did not incur any student loan debt because you was smart. You paid your way through college. So you graduated, you got this, you're 22, this $80,000 job. What should you do? First of all, you should buy yourself some property. You should get yourself a duplex or a 3 to 4 bedroom house and house hack. Get you a roommate or two to pay your mortgage. And this is one of the things, because guys, like, it's kind of contrary advice, because I'm talking about doing this from a money standpoint, where you own the house, you rent out the rooms. There's some women that's not a problem. For some women it is, but you're 22 years old, you make 80K a year, you should get you a house, you should house hack, and you should remain debt free. Your car should be paid off. You should have a car that you can pay cash for. Drive your car and start stacking, putting that 80K to work. And Balderdash, yeah, he didn't really have a business model. He was getting too money just, and also this is something else too. The government knows how much money most businesses make. They have a template, and banks do too. So if when you go in with a bank, and let's say you started putting in 4, 5, 6 million the first week, and your company profile doesn't dictate that, they're gonna flag your account. They took TVs and drones, everything. They had a mic built in. All right, Darson. Smokehouse, that's funny. Andrew Johnson, flipping houses or starting a business, which brings you a return faster? Depends on what kind of business you start, but there'd be the business. 89 Dr. Funk, if Omni had done a holding company, would he been okay? If he had ran his business legit, like, I haven't watched the live stream, so I don't know what went down, but if he was like, when you watch porn, you remember when you used to get those old porn VHS or those DVDs, and it would come up that if you copy this porn movie, it's all kinds of penalties and stuff. Copyright infringement is serious business. And if he was copywriting like an NFL game and streaming it overseas, bruh, that would be crazy. Because they will come after you for that kind of stuff. $250K fine, 5 years in jail. This might be a weird question, but what point should you get a business license once you have a business? Polly Robinson. I don't have a business license for this business, so I don't know. If you have a physical business, you're going to be forced to get a business license. But if you have a consulting business or internet business, bruh, you Bar the Dash, what brought you around the real estate at one time? You wouldn't touch it. I wasn't going to touch it I wasn't, I got tired of owning the house because it was just like, after my partner died, I just wanted to be free from responsibility. And now, I think I've healed up, and I'm just like looking at the money. I don't think I ever said I wouldn't touch it. Team Sauce Athletics, does it cost to turn your LLC into a holding company and an operating company? Yes, you have the cost of filing the LLCs with your state, whatever that cost may be. So, one of the things that I wanted to inform you guys on with the money mindset is it's a lifestyle. What you will do is infuse your lifestyle into your money. You would just make certain decisions based upon money. Like this house, because it's like 5,000 square feet. This house it was because I was paying 3,600 a month for the last place. Plus, I was paying 2,500 for office space. So that was 6,100 bucks per month. Moving into here actually saves me $2,100 that I don't have to spend because I shut down the offices and I moved everything in here. And I got room like this is a studio. I got another studio over there. That's the guest bedroom. I got another studio off my office. I got the whole basement. So, because I'm coming out of here next year, and I'm probably going to get something very similar because the business is going to grow with the personal finance channel. Team Sauce Athletics, no, it does not automatically become the holding company. You have to designate it and you have to create the articles of organization designated as a holding company. It's very intentional. It doesn't no automatic stuff. Because like there's a sequence and a procedure that you have to follow. 89 Dr. Funk. I write off this whole place because the company is paying for this house. What I did is I rented the house to my company. You can do that. This is one of the reasons that I created the real estate company because essentially I have a lease leasing this house to my company. So every month, what I pay is a write off. I'll talk about this. Go to my, because so be sure to subscribe to my personal finance channel. I'll talk about this because essentially, there's so many ways that you can play the game. Oh, this whole house is a deduction because I leased the house to the company and the company pays because essentially what I do is I write a check to my real estate company every month for rent. And then the real estate company, kind of like this thing they do with Airbnb, where they rent a house or something for Airbnb and then put it on Airbnb. Same principle. Anybody can do this. You can't do this with an apartment, I don't think. Team Sauce Athletics, you should go ahead and get the art of holding because you got too many questions here. I have one LLC, but the other one will soon be another industry. Um, what you need to do is take your oldest LLC and turn that into a holding company if you file taxes on it. I'm moving out of this house. One of the reasons I'm moving out of this house is from a security standpoint. I mean, it's like the side door right here is glass, and the front door has glass on the side. And I really don't want that. The next house is going to be more secure. I mean, nothing really happens around here, but now I've been in here going on my second year. There's some other features that I want in the house, so there's a reason I'm moving. Just go back and watch the older videos. I make many recommendations all the time in videos because, essentially one of the things that a money mindset will do for you, and this is the power of having an LLC. You could run your business through an LLC, and you could run expenses, personal expenses through the company, and turn personal expenses. Like, I legitimately can write this house off, even if I got audited, because if they came in here, they would see there's a studio in this bedroom, a studio in this bedroom, a studio down there, and the whole basement. Jimmy Carter, can you explain the difference between an LLC and a trust? There's a huge difference between an LLC. A trust is a way for you to take assets out of your name and designated beneficiary. An LLC, you control that. You're gonna put your laundromat in a trust? Why? You need an LLC for that. I would not put my laundromat in a trust because you got a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust. If you put your laundromat in an irrevocable trust, that's going to set you up for a lot of pain. And if you put it in an irrevocable trust, which means the terms of the trust can never change, I would not do that. I would put the laundromat into a LLC. Well, it's there's some other stuff that I want. And also, I figure I want a 3-car garage because I'm gonna buy another car at some point. So that's something else. Gar Spitter, whenever you're a one person owning an LLC, that will consider a single member entity, and that will trigger additional taxes. Once again, I would, if I was going to um hold on. If it was just me, because all my current LLCs have, well, except for the real estate company, have partners. So if you're a single member LLC, and this is something your CPA can help you with, because whoa. This is something your CPA can help you with because once again, it just depends on what you're doing, who's involved. No, not a Lambo. What's your opinion on assisted living? What do you mean? In what regard? I don't know if I'm getting a Porsche 911 4S. Team Sauce is Facebook marketing the best way to get clients for a clean? Could be, depending on who you have set it up. I think Google AdWords would be better for that because when people look for cleaning services, they go to Google before Facebook. Actually, I do have Cash App. I haven't set that up. Thanks for the $5 super chat, Darson, Darcy son. Yeah, I'm going to put that out there. So once again, Facebook marketing works, YouTube marketing works, but once again, you got to figure out when you deploy your marketing, like what do you see on Facebook? You see all of these ads about courses, income opportunities, and you go to Google and you see these ads for services. So I would go to Google for the cleaning company. Yeah, Google is the new phone book. No, it's the same course. Actually, no. Craigslist advertising works, and it could be free. You could seriously. I don't know. I don't know if that section because Craigslist has started charging for a lot of things. Let's go ahead and look. Let's see services. I don't know where you would advertise cleaning. Let's see. Cleaning service. House cleaning. That's in the labor. House cleaning Norcross. They're advertising on Craigslist. Let me see if you service offered. Yep, they charge you for that. It's $5 per post. Automotive services, household services, $5 per post. So this used to be free. Adrian Milton, do you have an old video on how to pick a business to start and how to start it for beginners? I'm going to tell you right now, start a business that you're interested in. There ain't no point in you going out and starting a business is something that you have no interest in because what's going to do, you're going to create a job for yourself that you hate. So start there. And if you really don't know what to do, start a service business. And the service business will be a cleaning service, like painting service, moving service, junk haul off service. But I don't have one of those step by step. Michelle Stovall, already on the LLC for a retail business. Can I add multiple businesses under the one LLC, even if they're in different industries, such as retail, restaurant, and rental properties? Michelle, what I would do is create a holding company. And essentially, since you already have one, I would turn that LLC into the holding company. And then I will open those other businesses. And also, the Internal Revenue Service will make you file 2 tax returns if your businesses are really crazy different. So that's something you should talk to your CPA and lawyer before you get started, because I would not, because this is one of the reasons that my real estate company is separate from Mac Daddy Media, because I'm going to have to file 2 tax returns. But once again, the real estate company ain't making that much money right now, so it's not a problem. But as retail, I would not, from a liability standpoint, I would not have a retail business, a restaurant business, and a rental property all under the same LLC. I would not do that. All right, Smokehouse. Adrian Moulton. I had a cleaning company in 2001. Byron Hill, from my perspective, doing lead generation for clients, Google is great for high intent niches. If your business or service is straightforward, simple to explain, Google's the way to go, in my honest opinion. Pretty much. I agree with you on that. Andrew Johnson, what about conglomerates? Conglomerates have all kinds of holding companies and operating companies. Like, I guarantee you, if you were to go look at Amazon's corporate papers, they would have all kinds of LLCs and holding companies. Amazon, oh, Amazon Company Inc. is an American multinational technology company based in Chicago, was eclipsed by that, was eventually shut down by Amazon.com Inc. is a C corporation because they went public. Let's see, Amazon. Let's see, what is Amazon? Because, like, with Amazon and like Blue Ocean is probably under a different LLC. Um, AWS, Amazon's Web Services, is probably under a different LLC that's owned by the parent company. Group function based. Focus function based groups are the strongest characteristic of Amazon's organizational structure. Each major business function has a dedicated group or team along with senior manager. So, because I would really be interested in looking in their corporate papers, because I guarantee you Amazon has a multitude of LLCs and holding companies and I'm going to say divisions, because there's an Amazon in Europe, and I guarantee you that they have a limited corporation in Europe. Team Sauce Athletics, could I operate my cleaning business and personal training business under the same LLC? You could. I would not advise it. Rod for real estate, yeah, that's just way too much liability under one LLC. Sam Black shows up an LLC before my business is up and running. Absolutely. Look at Gucci's parent company's current structure. Because I may do that as an exercise one day to see how Amazon is deployed. Because first of all, what I've got to do is go to Seattle, Washington, and let's see. Let's do this. Washington. Secretary of State. All right. I don't want to Amazon. Good Lord, there's a bunch of them. Amazon Advertising, Foreign Limited Liability Company, 410 Terry. Amazon Capital Services Incorporated, 410 Terry. Amazon Content Services LLC, Amazon Corporate LLC, Amazon Data Services, 410 Terry. Amazon Digital Services LLC, 410 Terry. Amazon Distributing Inc., Amazon Export Sales LLC, 410 Terry. Let's see. Let me look up 410. That's Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. I wish I could show y'all this. Amazon has a gang of LLCs. There's one, Amazon Com Services Incorporated. That's the C Corporation. Amazon Consulting Services. Well, Amazon Content Services. Amazon Data Services. I think that's AWS. Amazon has a lot of I mean, there. I wish my other service at work I could show you guys. Because see, this is how the game is played. Amazon has multiple LLCs which are owned by that Amazon C Corporation. I'm wondering, are the questions we're along the lines of building a business? These other corps build it by creating them. Well, you got to create the LLC for the business. I guarantee you, Amazon created these LLCs before they launched their divisions. All right, Rod, for real estate. Amazon has a ton of models. Not surprised at that. Justin, or Amazon, what they do is they're so big, they create a team, a division. Like I guarantee you, AWS, Amazon Web Services, they have a CEO, they have vice presidents, because Jeff ain't over all this. That's too much for what Jeff is just over over the C Corp. But under each division, just like in the military, you got brigades, you've got divisions and stuff. So Amazon is very well broken down like that, because when you are putting together your business and stuff, right, for real estate, 410 Terry is just one of the many campus locations. Because I kept seeing that and I was like, that's Amazon. I just knew it was. And I went ahead and researched it. And now that's one of the campuses. AWS has its own CWO. I'm not surprised, because once again, AWS could be a Fortune 500 company by itself. Prime could be a Fortune 500 company by itself. Prime has like 100 million members. A lot of new high-rise buildings in Seattle are part of Amazon. Hey, that's how the game is played, because you have this C Corp, which owns all of these LLCs, because I can see their taxes are going to be complicated and crazy because Amazon, the parent company, owns all these other companies, and there's all this cash being pushed up. And I think they paid no taxes because of the game they know how to play. So it's really cool. All right. I will see you guys later. If you want to level up, if you want to knowledge up, go to hustlerskungfulifeskills.com and pick your course. I'm getting ready to do something different with that. So with that, I'll see you guys later.